everybody, this is Tristan, JT Wrestling Podcast. Jason is not here. He's enjoying a nice little trip, and, and that's going to save a lot of discussions about some, music, Brittin and I are aware of, that, Jason does not like, but we'll save that for another podcast. So I have BrittinHarrison from YouTube on the show tonight, and, very happy to have him. Brittin, want to plug anything?
Hello.
Say hello? Okay.
Hello. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I guess you can subscribe to me. My YouTube channel is BrittinHarrison, and my Twitter is at GreatBritain95, like the country, because I'm very creative and clever. And, yeah.
Alright, sounds good. So of course this is the first guest we've had on the show in a while after returning here last week. Very glad to be back. A great first, guest returning. So, the basic question, when did you start watching wrestling?
I started in August of '07. It's really weird. It ended up from like a video game, but it takes too long to explain, but it's really weird how I got into August of '07, I believe.
Alright, so what did you think about the, current, so at that point, were you just watching WWE, were you watching some, just the mainstream stuff with TNA, or what was your situation there?
I was just watching WWE for a while. I actually didn't know any other wrestling promotions till maybe early '08. I was looking through the channels and I saw TNA. It was the first time I ever saw it, and I was like, well, this is something new. And I ended up watching both of those, and I actually enjoyed TNA more for a little bit, but WWE's always been, like, number one that I've always, been a fan of wrestling promotions.
So, I know at the time, WWE was kind of going through a struggle in '07 there, in my opinion anyways. Going into early '08, it seemed like that was just kind of a really off year. What did you think of the current product there?
Being new to being a wrestling fan, I thought it was awesome. I thought, whenever I first saw Raw, whenever I first, went to watch Raw, I thought it was the best thing ever. I thought it was awesome, and it beat all I'd ever seen. So, not knowing much about the product, I thought it was amazing. But looking back now, I can see where people think of it as off years, and, it's definitely better than some years and worse than some, so.
Yeah, you're right. I think '06 was probably a lot worse. Yeah, that was a pretty terrible year. Alright, so, TNA real quick. What are your thoughts on, during that time period?
I don't really remember a lot. Really, the only thing I can remember is AJ Styles and Tomko and Christian, where it was Christian Cage. But I don't really remember a lot about TNA from back then, so I don't think I can really answer that.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. When you first tuned in, you had sat through, let's say, a month or so, and you were kind of just first getting established with the industry. What was your favorite wrestler in either promotion, we'll say?
Definitely it was John Cena. He was the only one that I knew. He was the only one that I was familiar with, so obviously it was going to be Cena. But as time progressed, it grew to be Jeff Hardy, then Randy Orton.
Alright, cool. And when you first broke into TNA, who really stood out right there?
Definitely AJ Styles. AJ Styles has always been one of my favorite wrestlers in either promotion or any promotion. I've always loved AJ Styles.
Alright, cool. Now, our next question is kind of more currently. What is your favorite promotion you follow, and what promotions do you follow?
I follow, WWE. TNA, I really haven't followed them in a long time. PWG, I try to follow them as much as possible, and the same with ROH. But WWE is probably what I follow the most out of any promotion right now.
Alright, that's cool. I'm not sure if this will be from Dirty E, but any promotion. What you say is your favorite show of all time?
Wrestling wise, favorite show of all time?
Yeah.
Dang, that's kind of hard to question, or that's kind of hard to answer. Probably a WrestleMania. Maybe WrestleMania 24, because it has one of my favorite matches of all time. It was the first WrestleMania I'd ever seen. I don't know, it's just something about WrestleMania 24. I watch it every year, WrestleMania time. and I love the show. It may not be the best WrestleMania, but it's always gonna be one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that was a great show. It really had a nice flow that sometimes a lot of WrestleManias don't have. Kind of gets too chunky up there, but it seems like all the matches got a decent amount of time. And yeah, something about that Mania was just really great.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a little dispute here on Twitter. We're gonna get to that later, actually. But who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
Of all time, it's been Shawn Michaels for a while, but recently, I've turned to Team Jericho, and Shawn Michaels was kind of a d-bag to me on Twitter, and I kind of lost a little bit of respect for him for that because I didn't do anything to him. But I'd definitely say Chris Jericho was probably my favorite wrestler of all time.
All HBK's fault. All right.
Yes. Hashtag.
Alright, so, currently, from all the promotions you follow, once again, who is your favorite wrestler?
People would probably call me a bandwagon fan, but I'm going to say Daniel Bryan. Even though I'm not a bandwagon fan. I hate when people say that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it with some things, but there's just some guys you don't get into for a while, even if they're good at first. I don't know. The whole Yes phenomenon really has drawn a lot of people in. Some people still hate him. Still, people call him bad wrestler, which I don't see how people can say that. But they say he doesn't have charisma. Not going to really get into that now, but hitting back to what you said, bandwagon. I'm completely fine with bandwagon fans. I really don't call them that. They're just fans that kind of got into the person later, I guess.
I know, and people call me a bandwagon Punk fan. I guess you can't be supporting the guy for, a majority of his career, and you can't be a fan of him whenever he's becoming big, or you're going to be a bandwagon fan. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've been a fan of Punk since '07. He was my favorite wrestler from '07 to about early '08 till about Hell in a Cell last year. And then people want to call me a bandwagon fan and stuff. That's just, I don't mean to rant about that. It just kind of ticks me off.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Alright, so, back to Twitter. Cole Cabana, do you have anything to say to him? Do you have anything to say to Revy Sky? Anything to Shawn Michaels?
Cole Cabana, I did tour Wrestling Road Diaries, and I plan to do the same with part 2. I'm proud of myself. Revy Sky, you're an attention-seeking whore. No one would know you if it wasn't for Matt Hardy, and your crush probably smells like SeaWorld.
Wow. Alright. So, for the most part, that was very true, I would say. Alright, so, Punk Bryan feud. We're getting to more current topics. So, alright, so we kind of cut out there, but, I think we left off just right there with the Twitter responses. I think we got those all in, so wait, do you have any final words on those besides what you just said?
Not really.
Okay. Alright, so, Punk and Bryan feud. We're getting to more current topics once again. So, Punk and Bryan feud. Okay, so your thoughts on Kane invading? I hate it, but
I hate it too.
Yeah.
And with the match that they had over the limit, Punk and Bryan, you think that WWE would be giving them a rematch, just the two of them without somebody like Kane in there. But I don't know. Maybe something will work out of this. Maybe something will come out of it. But honestly, I don't see why Kane has to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's like what purpose does he really serve here? He just came out of nowhere. He wasn't really doing anything you could think of. He was facing off with Orton, and he didn't do anything at Over the Limit, I don't think, did he?
He faced Ryder in the pre-show. That was it.
Oh yeah, that's right. He went from pre-show to WWE Championship, and I've been talking about how devalued the WWE Championship has become because of John Cena, and I didn't originally think about talking about this, but what do you think about that whole situation?
Obviously, Punk has brought more prestige to the title since he won it back in Survivor Series. He's had a really good reign, something that the title's been needing for a really long time. So you gotta appreciate that. Cena definitely probably devalued him, a lot because they probably, they put the title on because he was the main guy and everything. You don't have to have the title if you're the main guy, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of lost myself there.
Yeah, that's definitely true. The long title reign really does make the belt and the person holding it look really good. That's why you see Ring of Honor. That's kind of the style they go. They don't have the belt dropped for whatever, like 9 months almost every time, no matter what title it is. It seems like, and that's really the way to go. I think in a lot of situations. If they can do that with the WWE title, I think that would be a really good thing. Maybe not as long as 7 months sometimes, but at least 3 months is a pretty good title reign. So.
Yeah.
All right. So if what do you think's actually going to happen? I know if I probably read the rest of the SmackDown spoilers, I would have found out. But do you think we're gonna get the triple threat?
Yeah. Laurinaitis came out and confirmed it.
He did.
That's what I read. Yeah.
All right. Spoiler alert, but no one cares because no one even watches SmackDown anymore. All right. So, Jericho incident, everyone's been talking about it. The buzz is kind of gone over now, but some people are still talking. So, yeah, what do you think about the whole flag thing?
I think it's complete bullcrap. I mean, sure, it's Brazil, maybe patriotic and everything, but you got to look at what's happened in the future. Plenty of heels have done it before. Shawn Michaels humped the Canadian flag in the middle of the ring, stuck it up his nose. Didn't Sergeant Slaughter like the American flag on fire? And they want to and that was on live TV for millions of people. But Jericho does it at a house show in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people, and it's a big controversy. I don't see, that's ridiculous to me.
You're right, and at first I was saying, okay, well, it makes somewhat sense because Brazil has that law, but apparently someone from who's is Canadian told me that they have a law similar to that in Canada, so it's really not much different. Even if it was a law, it wasn't a law in Canada, it wasn't a law in whatever. It still shouldn't be that big of a deal, obviously, but when they get back in the States. I thought it was damage control at first, and I would have been fine with that, but 30 days is just, way too long. I think it's just, it shouldn't be something he should be punished for. He's doing his job.
I think at most they should have just kept him off for us, so we're not suspended him for 30 days. I think that's just a little ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. I must say, though, that if they were going to replace Jericho with anyone, Ziggler would definitely be the guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that
definitely.
it looks like that's what they're planning on doing, so I'm very happy about that. But you still can't put Ziggler over Jericho. Would love to be seeing that match inside of a cage, but if we get Ziggler versus Orton, I won't be complaining.
I would be perfectly fine with that. That's the kind of match that Ziggler needs to elevate him to the man. That is match with somebody like Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton can do the job and make him look like a star.
Yeah, for sure. If Orton will put a guy over, that is, but we'll see. Alright, so general Raw thoughts from yesterday.
Definitely a pretty bad Raw. Probably one of the worst of the year, I have to say. And I think a lot of people would probably agree.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. If it wasn't for Punk and Bryan, it would have been an awful Raw, but here, I called it a good Raw, but that's me being a little biased. I usually go a little easy on Raws, I guess. I just don't really judge them if it has somewhat good build, which I figured I thought this show kind of was. It might not have been the most entertaining show, but I did feel like there was a lot of progress made for progressing feuds, making new feuds, establishing guys. I felt like there was a little, some progression going on, something in the right direction. So I thought this was a pretty good Raw, but I can definitely see where people would say that.
I just felt like it was pretty much based all around the Big Show. He took up at least maybe over half. I don't know, with the beginning segment and the end with Brodus Clay. I just think he had way too much time on Raw.
Yeah, we've seen it with Ryder. It's we've seen it with a lot of guys. It's putting a guy in every segment's not gonna get him over. It's not gonna. It's not gonna. You gotta do it on your own. You gotta have.
Especially a guy like Big Show. Oh, sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah. That scenario we played out for him here on Skype may as well come true. But at least he's gonna get his final ride into glory, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Can't stand the Big Show. Never have, never will.
Yeah, maybe one day he'll be sitting on that couch eating Kane's meat. You guys have no idea what we're talking about. So, all right.
Talking about Vince's $1 billion bloody face.
Yeah. All right. So do you have any current product thoughts you want to wrap this up with?
You mean like how I think each product's going right now?
Yeah. Any thoughts? Anything you want to say? Any shows you're looking forward to in the next coming months or weeks or whatever?
Not really looking forward to a lot of shows. Definitely my house show. That's a house show. TNA really, they're in the crapper. They always will be. They'll probably be another WCW as everybody's predicted. PWGR, from what I know, they're doing good. WWE could be better, could be worse.
Alright, sounds very good. Oh yeah, guys, I wanted to plug this on this channel as well. I've been trying to get it out as much as possible because Shikara is having their second ever internet pay-per-view, and the card looks stacked, so you guys should all go order it or wait till afterwards and do your illegal stuff. That's fine too. But really put your money into the product if you can. It's a great promotion. A lot of great storylines going on as always. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening on that show, so you should definitely find a way to watch it somehow or another. Britton, have you ever had any experiences watching Shikara, or have you not been broken in yet?
I watched about over half of time, maybe. I think I spoke with you about this. I watched till Sarah Del Rey versus the diaper guy. The guy with the diaper.
Oh, the diaper guy.
I thought it was really good.
The diaper guy. Are you talking about High Noon?
Yeah. What did I say?
No. You didn't say anything about the show. You just said the diaper guy. I was trying to figure out what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, High Noon.
Alright. Sounds good. Alright, so, Britton, plug your stuff again one more time for him.
My YouTube is BrittinHarrison, and my Twitter is @GreatBritain95.
Alright, and that stuff will be in the description. Thank you very much for being on the show this week.
Thank you for having me.
Alright, guys, another week. Don't worry, hopefully Jason will be back next week. He'll still be in North Carolina or whatever, but I'll try and drag him onto the show. Alright, thanks, guys. For me, Tristan.
And me, Britton.
Alright, JT Wrestling Podcast, signing out. Thank you very much.